Hi guys, and welcome to the Sunderland vs Wimbledon match review. Now today we were, like I say, taking on bottom of the table Wimbledon, but Wimbledon of course have just come off the back of that brilliant win in the FA Cup against West Ham, which is fantastic for them, so I was quite wary of them. But we did go into this game with a couple of new faces as well to the squad. Of course we did have McLaughlin in goal, we had James, Dunn, Flanagan, and we had Matthews. At the back. In the middle we had Power and Grant Ledbetter, who we welcomed back to the Stadium Light, which I was really excited about. We was supposed to start Gooch, but last minute, just before kick-off, he is believed to be, I'm not too sure, it hasn't been 100% confirmed, but I believe that his girlfriend or his wife or whoever was giving birth, or at least he's close to giving birth or something, so he had to leave anyway, and that's what it's apparently anyway. That's what happened. So he was replaced with Morgan, the new lad as well. Lewis Morgan. On the left we had Mcgeady, then we had Honeyman, welcoming him back as well from injury, and then Charlie Wyke up top. So we got into the game, and I was relatively impressed for the opening periods of the game. Wimbledon, they weren't right in our faces, as I kind of expected. They weren't the physical presence and the physical battle that we saw in the reverse fixture. They didn't seem like that kind of team, as they were. Like they were quite aggressive last time we played them at their place, and we couldn't handle it, and we managed to scrape a win. But we did control the game quite nicely. Ledbetter had a decent start. Morgan was very impressive indeed on that right hand side. A few very nice touches. I don't think he doesn't quite have the pace, you know, that Gooch possesses, but he has very good technical ability. And a couple of times in that first half, he did come inside from the right, or he'd linger around the sort of number 10 role where Honeyman is supposed to be in the kind of interchange. And there was a few nice little sort of dummies. Dummy passes or dummy shots to nick it round a defender, and he did have a decent chance as well early on, but he dragged that one wide. Mcgeady had a chance as well, and that was blocked. There was very early on again, Wimbledon did have a chance of their own where they hit it from the halfway line. Ledbetter did give it away very cheaply, and then McLaughlin had to backtrack and parry it away from goal. So not too much happened in that first half. It was relatively even, but I felt like we were in control, and it was almost, I felt like I was just waiting for us to score, but nothing was really coming off. We were sticking to hoof-it football quite a lot. We weren't. This is the thing now, and I know a lot of people defend Wyke, and I have done up until relatively recently, and I know everyone says, you know, we had a big injury, he still needs time to do this or to do that, but he was brought in to be this sort of target man, which what I was led to believe anyway, and I don't think I've ever seen him win a header since he's been here. And then when he's touching the ball, it's sloppy, it's heavy, and there's only so many times where we can say, you know, give him time. I'm not saying he's shit and sack him off, but he just, not one part of his game has genuinely impressed me, and that's been 100% honest. And the one goal he has scored, it was the tiniest nick, wasn't it? Quite some time ago, it was almost accidental, you know, of course, I'm behind him. I support him all the way, but he just hasn't impressed me whatsoever. Not one tiny little bit, unfortunately. Charlie Wyke, it just hasn't or isn't working out the way I'm sure he thought it would do. But yeah, so it ended up being 0-0 at half-time. Second half, it was pretty much more of the same. We're making it so hard for ourselves, giving it away in daft positions, giving little fouls away. I think still from set pieces, we look very quite dodgy, very panicky at the back. A couple of corners where it just plays completely unmarked. We just don't know how the hell to get rid of it. Then at the other end, when we get a corner or whatever, or a set piece of some kind, we just don't do anything with it. It's really frustrating, regardless of what defensive partnerships we try and rotate, be it Flanagan and Baldwin or Dunn and Flanagan, whatever. We just can't defend set pieces, and there was a couple of very worrying moments in that game where Wimbledon could have got themselves back into it, but fortunately for us they didn't. But towards the latter stage of the game, eventually we did bring on, we brought on Sterling, the new lad, on loan, and he didn't really have too much say in the game. He ran a lot, he did look like he had a bit of pace, and he did actually remind me of Sinclair a little bit, but obviously he had nowhere near enough time to give himself a proper case for the team, really. But he definitely shown a little bit of pace, which was good. He threw himself in the mix a little bit, but didn't really have much time, or didn't get too much service, really. Obviously, Watmore as well come on towards the back end of the game, but we did manage to get the goal through Aidan Mcgeady. I mean, he was probably one of the more frustrating players on the pitch for the majority of the game, constantly dilly-dallying like he does. It's just typical Mcgeady. Like I've said it in a million different videos, but then he pops up with a moment of magic, and it really was, coming in off the left, and then just a lovely bench shot into the top right-hand corner. Keeper's got no chance. Absolutely class. We managed to get away with the win. Going forward, though, I mean, there was a lot of positives, but there were also a bit negatives. We haven't played for a little bit, but we just looked very stale. I think in the midfield, I know O'Nien, he definitely deserved to start that game. He's been our best performer for the last several games, actually. That is coming from a right back. It must be a very difficult decision for Jack Ross to make, because now in the centre of midfield we have plenty of different options and players that really, they are probably better than O'Nien in terms of that central midfield role, and his natural position isn't a right back. So when you get someone who is natural at right back, you would genuinely or generally think to play the natural right back over the person who isn't. Do you know what I mean? Although O'Nien has been playing fantastic, so I can understand why it was a difficult decision. But personally, I would have had O'Nien in there, maybe over Power or even Mcgeady over Power, because today I don't think Power really contributed anything. I mean, Ledbetter, he was all right. You can say probably just needs to settle in a little bit. He did have a few very decent passes, a few decent challenges, but he also gave the ball away quite a few times. Whereas Power, to me, at times he just went under the radar and he forgot he was on the pitch, and he needs someone who's going to step up to the plate, and he has been relatively disappointing over the last few weeks, or the last few games. Power, I think he is sliding under the radar a little bit, whereas the first few times we saw him, I thought he was our best midfielder, whereas now I'm forgetting he's even on the pitch. So yeah, I think next game we should more than likely remove Power. Honeyman was quite good as well, I'll have to say. We could tell we definitely missed him, and we definitely need a goal scorer as well, of course. So I think once Grigg does reach full fitness and he is eligible to play, I think we'll be more than okay. Our build-up play was quite good at times today. I don't think we played bad. It was just very stale. We were in control for large parts, but nothing was coming off. I can't remember us having a shot on target apart from the goal. So yeah, that was basically it. Like I say, in the next game, I just think we maybe need to mix up that midfield a little bit. Maybe Mcgeady or O'Nien instead of Power, and then hopefully, like I say, when Grigg gets back, then things will start to tick, because we did look good at times. But that was basically it. It weren't the greatest of games. I can't sugarcoat it. It was a pretty goddamn shit game, but it's another 3 points. Other teams around have dropped points. Charlton have lost, I'm pretty sure. Portsmouth have drew as well. So it's looking good. We've pushed up to 4th now. We still have games in hand as well to play for. So it's still very positive. It's still 3 points. You can't moan about that. Just a little bit of tweaks are needed, I think, with the performance. But that'll be it, guys. If you have enjoyed, please hit the like button for me. It'd be massively appreciated. And subscribe to the channel if you're not already, to become a fully fledged member of the Sarny Army. But for now, you take care and stay jamming.